Hello and welcome back to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. A big welcome back to my returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being here and for your support of me and of each other, of course, here on this channel. A big thank you to everyone who has reached out to me on Etsy, on Instagram as well, and through the YouTube comment section as well. I've gotten to know a lot of you, so thank you guys so much for your constant support of me here. And if you have found yourself here for the very first time, we would like to welcome you to this space. I do daily pick a cards here usually on this channel, so if you're into tarot, if you're into spirituality, please join us. Grab yourself a cup of tea, some snacks, and we'll have a little bit of a chat because we're all friends when we gather here together. So today's pick a card reading, we are looking at a no contact love message from the person on your mind. What do they want to say to you today? We have 3 piles for you to choose from today. We have pile number 1 with the fish card and the cream flower. We have pile number 2 with the blue flower and the bear spirit. And we have pile number 3 with the cobra spirit and the pink flower. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be a message waiting from spirit today for you, and my timestamps are below. I'm going to jump right into pile number 1. It's a no contact love message from the person on your mind. What do they want to say? Hello, pile 1. You were drawn to the cream flower or to the fish spirit here, and this is your reading, a love message from the person on your mind. What do they want to say? So the fish spirit, of course, we liken it to Pisces energy, but it's also about things that we suppress. It's about the deep feelings that we often suppress. You can even see here, it's like the light cascading from below the fish. And it is this energy of going with the flow as well. It's like not having control of the flow sometimes too. So it's like time slipping away. I just feel like time slipping away or opportunities slipping away. So let's get into this love message from the person on your mind. What do they want to say to you today, pile number 1? We will, of course, do some message cards and oracle, but we're going to start with the tarot today. So I'm going to start with the traditional, Rider-Waite. It's stiff and I cut my thumb open, so it's hard for me to shuffle without hurting my thumb. So pile 1, no contact love message. What do they want to say to you right this moment? What is their message for you? What do they want to say to pile number 1? What is their message? We have the 2 of Pentacles. They would start by saying that no matter what they are currently juggling in their life, and they may be juggling quite a bit, and I feel like, again, some time has passed. No matter what they're juggling in their life, nothing has really changed as far as their intent or their interest in you. That they do sort of carry this energy. They carry the missed opportunity, because it feels like missed opportunity in some cases, right along with them. And they know that they have to make a decision about this connection moving forward. They know that they have to make a choice about how they're going to treat this connection. In some cases, this may be a choice between 2 different situations, but it's an acknowledgement that they're still holding on to space for this connection. They wish that they could be your knight in shining armor as well. And they do definitely regret, I just saw the 10 of Swords, they do definitely regret hesitation in the past. They wish that they had just sort of acted recklessly almost in the past, I feel. And I think it was their attempt at trying to save face, or they're trying to talk about the reasons why they didn't express themselves in the past. They were really worried about rejections, and so they were in a self-preservation type of mode. And now they really don't want to, it's like they know that they caused you pain as well. They understand that they caused you pain, and it's not that they're unfeeling. They care that they caused you pain, but they don't know how to make amends for that. They don't know how to fix the situation without it affecting their bottom line in some way, without it affecting their position, without it being a risk of some kind to their position or to their ego in some way. And they've learned a lot. That's the other thing that they're bringing forward, is that, like, I didn't see it then. I wasn't smart enough, or I was ill-equipped to recognize it then. But I see it now, and I see that I got in my own way. I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to this. They really want to sort of make amends for that fear that overshadowed them, especially in the past of this connection. The fear of the unknown made them stop from leaping into what could have been the best thing that ever happened to them. This is this person could be a Pisces. They feel very emotional. We have Scorpio energy as well here. Back of the deck is the World, because there's lots of unfinished business between the two of you. And the two of you should have been more than friends, but you weren't. Were you? You weren't more than friends in the past, but you should have been. And I feel like there were complications even then. I feel like there was someone in your life back then that got in the way. And I don't even necessarily feel like this was even another, it could have been like competition for somebody in this connection. Like there could have been other intent from this person, but I feel like they complicated things. They got in the way of the situation. And it could have been another friend. They also want to say that there's something about you that was very intimidating even back then, and I feel like that continues to this day. There's just something about you. This beautiful Queen of Wands. You could have fire energy in your chart. And that hasn't changed with time. It's like you're more of an imposing figure than you ever were before. And this Wheel of Fortune is talking about a fate. It's like we are destined to meet again. We are destined. We should have evolved into more. It's almost like they had this epiphany about how this should have evolved into more. And they do sort of feel frozen in time at this point in the connection. The Queen of Cups. Oh. There's really a message coming through that they want to express about how they realize what they've sort of missed out on, and it has everything to do with, first of all, they're very attracted to you, but they're coming over the top with a lot of emotional love now, and they're coming over the top about what a good person you are. And what I just heard was that line from that one John Mayer song that talks about a woman's good heart, and that's what they just said. You have a good heart, and that's what they're missing out on. And even if they are in other situations or have been in other situations, those relationships have just kind of showcased what a good heart that you have. And I just keep hearing that good heart. We have the Death card. Back of the deck is the Six of Cups. They would love to have reunions, but they may be caught in some type of karmic cycle here. And there is something about their position that sort of enforces a imbalance in the communication. It's like their position doesn't allow them to communicate with you in some way. And so they know that they're leaving you in the cold, and that's on their mind a lot. Because you do deserve clarity, you do deserve closure. And again, there's just such a beautiful innocence about how they feel and how they still feel about you. I feel like they would love to explore that road of innocence a little bit more. They would love for it to evolve from this innocent space and into a more grown-up space, if you know what I mean. I'm keeping it light for YouTube purposes. There's that Page of Wands. Yeah, they definitely want to explore with you. And they definitely want reunions. And even the Death card is really speaking about this end of this cycle that they're really hoping, that they wish that the separation could end soon. And they're reflecting about that too. It's like timing is a factor here. In some cases, though, they're afraid of change. And they're really afraid of a new cycle opening up, because then they sort of are thrust right back to that place that they were in the past, where they now have to put their money where their mouth is. We have impossible things, working through disbelief, imaginative leaps, and fresh perspectives. And this card, it says impossible things, and I feel like it's not an impossibility for the two of you to reunite. It's not impossible. But if they think it's impossible, it becomes impossible, because they're going to let the fear overrule them. And in the future position, we do have the moon energy as the primary intent for the future, which is a continued reflection phase. And there is something, it's like timing is not on your side at this point, or in this moment, timing is not on your side, because they say now is not the time. With this Five of Swords in the present, it's like it's going to blow up in our face if we move this wheel forward. It's going to blow up in our face, and they're really insecure about that. So it feels impossible. But you can see down here in this card, it has the bread and butterflies, because this is the Alice in Wonderland Oracle. And it's not impossible, but we have to start with a transformation inside to shift that perspective. And again, look at the rocking horse. There's just such a beautiful innocence about this connection. I feel like you may have gone to school with this person, or I feel like you could have even been like a child with them in some way. We have mortality here. Life is brief, bright, beautiful, and yours to live. It's like they thought they would have more time, and time slipped away from them. And this is really kind of a death card, wishing for a rebirth. But there's also this sense of certain things having to come to a close, or a cycle having to end in order to branch out into new beginnings. Because even with the moon, and there's uncertainty about that, about the actions that we have to take in order to create change here. The uncertainty that lies beyond those pillars is scary. But the death card gives us a hint of what could be lying there. Clarity. Clarity, and in the very least, joy and happiness and abundance, you know, in the upper kind of levels of the sun energy that is peaking over top of that unknown. We have the subconscious and the wing card coming out as well. Back of this deck is the humanity card. We have the peacock, which is always a symbol of pride and of the ego for me. And we have this tree of life. It looks like a tree of life, but it is a little bit dingy looking, isn't it? It has no leaves. It's hollow. There's something that isn't really thriving, but appearances, for appearances' sake, we have to maintain it. This can be from your energy or from this person's energy, which is why they do feel the need to suppress how they feel for you and to keep it below the surface. But it's through this suppression that it's kind of forced these epiphanies. And this is where all of these epiphanies have come from, because they've been forced to keep it to themselves. They've been forced to honestly wage an internal battle, it feels like. Let's get some message cards from this person. Let's start with the Cottage Divine Masculine Love Oracle. What does this person want to say? Love message from the person on your mind. I knew the first moment I saw you that there was something special. I think they were instantly attracted to you back then, but they still were really intimidated. I did not follow my heart in this situation. And I feel like they hesitated way too long. It's like they knew they were going to have to make some sort of move on you back then, but they hesitated way too long. It says I'm coming, but it didn't want to come up in the upright. But it says I don't want anyone to get hurt, so it's they don't feel like they have the position to come forward. They do want to. Has too much time passed. And they are really concerned about the timing. That came out even with the fish energy right off the bat for some reason. I wish I'd been more honest with you. And so you may find yourself with a really long standing period of no contact here. And you may find that there's more time coming as well, being stuck in this kind of karmic cycle with this person. What do they wish that they could say right this moment, please? A love message from the person on pile one's mind. You make me want to do bad things, because they may be attached and you may be attached. And there's an obsessive energy with the devil, with the 15. And they don't want people to get hurt. They don't want to hurt anyone. And they don't want themselves to have to take a hit. Let me have you. 7 of Cups, they fantasize about you, but they also maintain that fantasy in the secrecy. They are not 100% confident that you feel the same way. And that's what made them hesitate in the past. And that's what makes them hesitate now. Although I think there are other complications here too. Love is the answer. And that was sort of the overarching theme of what separated the two of you in the first place. The inability to just follow your heart. If we act from a place of love, sometimes we can avoid some of the suffering that we go through. But without the suffering, we don't come to the epiphanies. And without the epiphanies, how do we evolve? I want to start a family with you. So they do fantasize about having it all. It's like we could have had it all together. Let me hold you. A lot of 7s here. There's like a secrecy, and it's like an exhaustion sometimes. You know, when we're climbing that ladder towards the 10s, once we get to the 7s, there's an exhaustion that sets in, and it's a time to stop and regroup. It's like they may be in that point in their life where they're regrouping right now, and they're trying to figure out where they went wrong, and you are a part of that narrative. What do they want to say? A love message from your person. What do they want to say? Pile 1. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. And they do want to say to you that it was their lack of self-esteem that made them feel like they weren't valuable enough back then. And now that they've evolved and grown and matured, they realize that they could have taken that risk. They also miss the flirtation between the two of you. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine, the playfulness card. They want to flirt with you. They miss that. I think you really represent a time of innocence and a time of freedom for this person as well. We have stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking will bring you romance. And that is one main lesson that you did help them learn, was to seize the moment, to take advantage of opportunities before they do slip through your fingers. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 1, to close off your reading. A love message from their person in the bowl. What would they like to say right this moment to close off this no contact reading? What would they like to say in the bowl? The 5 of Swords. I should have went after you. I shouldn't have let you walk away. I get stressed out thinking about it. And they didn't recognize the value in the moment. It's like they thought that they had more time. And now when they think about sort of what they let slip through their fingers, that stresses them out. They have had certain epiphanies about the purpose of this connection, and they definitely assign you a specialized position within this connection. So you may find that they apply soulmate energy to this connection, and you may as well. There's also motherhood as a theme here too in the bowl. So someone in this connection could have children. So take that as it resonates. We have the little wrench. We have the divine feminine shoe with this big, beautiful shoe. So on the move, somebody who's moved forward. We have here the stethoscope, a hospital nursing connection, or a blocked heart chakra. We do have the fish bones, and it is the blue ones, which is an emotional outburst. It's like an emotional outburst in reaction to the pain, the loss. We do have the butterfly and the dragonfly, symbols of transformation. The butterfly, more of an interior transformation that restores an inner alchemy. And then the dragonfly is more of a hungry transformation, somebody who's actively pursuing change. We have here the rabbit, but it has no face, somebody who's too fearful to make a move. We also have the half of the yin yang, the empress with the flat shell, and I have an ace of swords, and I have the 10 of wands. So there's a lot of fantasy that's fueling that 10 of wands. And every time that they had this fantasy or certain fantasies about you and they had nowhere to direct it, they've just had to stack it on top of themselves and carry it with them. And the uncertainty of the unknown, and also truly the burden of truth, the burden of their truth still on their shoulders weighs them quite down. And the wrench in the plan, the wrench is a symbol of issues that block the reunion. All right, pile one, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates. If it did, I would love to hear your story below in the comment section, and I would love for you to be a part of our beautiful soul family here and subscribe to the channel. You can hit your notification bell and your like button and drop me a comment below for a chance to win a free reading with me. Congratulations to this month's winner. You can also check me out on Instagram for a chance to win a free mini read, because I offer that every month, and a private reading through my Etsy account if you feel interested in that, and that link is below. But I hope that you come back here for another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello everyone in pile 2. You were drawn to the blue flower or to the bear spirit here, and this is your reading, a no contact love message from the person on your mind. What do they want to say to you? So the bear here is a symbol of protection and force. There is a sense too of hibernation, of like taking some seasons to cool down, or it's like a hunger that exists because of the separation between the two of you. And it's also a message coming through about learning to trust my instincts, because I think that this person really had a feeling about you from the moment that they met you, perhaps, and maybe they didn't act on those instincts, and so this whole entire situation has taught them to act upon their instincts when it comes to connections that they've experienced since your separation. So let's take a look here and see what is their message for you. Do I want to use this one? No contact love message for pile number 2. What do they want to say? Oh, they're so sad. There is such a sadness with this particular 10 of swords. It's like sacrifice, and it's loss, and it's the truth that has finally hit them so hard. It's like done them in. It's like I have to release, I have to let go, because it's like a harsh lesson being learned. And it really is fueling that message about the hunger too, the hunger that exists between the two of you. Because in this card, this particular deck is a deck of fairy tales, and this particular fairy tale has a lot to do with a being that lives under the water that requires a sacrifice. And so this father has to sacrifice his daughter as he crosses this passage of water. And so there is a definite hunger here, a hunger for change. And there's a pain in the separation. They want you to know that it's been difficult for them. We have the 5 of Wands. They also want you to know that they get really jealous still easily over you. They're very protective. It's like there's definitely an overarching theme of protection. They're very jealous over you and very protective over you. They are coming forward with a message about how your physical beauty, actually. They're coming forward with this message about how that is almost being presented as a challenge for them, and was a challenge for them in the past, to get over that, or to be able to work within the realms of how attractive they found you. It's like it really intimidated them, and it really fueled their ego, really fueled their insecurity too. The way that you carried yourself, perhaps even the way you still carry yourself, and your position at this time makes them jealous. So I don't know if you're in a new relationship. You could be, for sure. You could even be a parent with children, because this Queen of Pentacles is kind of, she's good at everything. She has it all. She has coin, she has stability, she has love, she has it all. So your position fuels them with some of this jealousy still, and they want to bring forward that message. How you make them jealous, and you challenge their ego still to this day. And they are even saying that that's part of the reason why they feel so helpless, is because they can't wield change in your situation. So they are feeling really helpless. Here's the Magician. They do feel like you you have the upper hand here when it comes to change. The Four of Wands. Yeah. And they wish that they could, it's like they wish that they could sway your decision. They wish they could sway your position a little bit. But you could be married. And that message isn't for everyone, but if it is for you, you know that it is. But you could, yeah, your position makes them really feel insecure. And they're so tired of waiting. I feel like they're really exhausted. And it's because they're fueled with so much desire, and they're fueled with so much want and frustration. And sadness. I'm telling you, it's a very sad energy coming forward from this person. They do want to say that they're really sorry that they didn't take more risks with you. And that these shoulda, coulda, wouldas really hold them back now. You can even see here with the Five of Cups how it's the past. The reflections are holding them back from being able to move forward. And in some cases, I feel like this person is kind of frozen in place a little bit. I think that this connection has had more profound effect on them and their experience than you would realize. Like their inability to commit to other people might have been affected by this situation, because they feel like they're in a holding pattern. And it's not like a pleasant surrender either. Sometimes we can see the Hanged Man. It's a surrender to a situation. It's a request to go with the flow here. But in this case, with this Hanged Man, you can see the toes are all red. It almost looks frostbitten. It's like they're just left out in the cold, and they're just waiting for something in your dynamic to change. But they're growing so impatient that it's fueling this. And I'm going to use a word like agony with this Ten of Swords, because it's a mental anguish. It's a mental torture that is really having they want you to know it's having a really strong effect on their inner state and their ability to enjoy life, it feels like. And that's sort of passing the buck a bit. Spirit doesn't want you to feel like you're responsible for this person's happiness or their experience. They are the ones who are really hung up on the situation, and they're the ones who are responsible to get themselves out of this internal dither that they find themselves in. And if we don't address that Temperance, we could find ourselves dealing with that devil, the obsession, the codependency of that devil energy that comes right after the Temperance. And the Magician here is an acknowledgement that, we reap what we sow. This person, perhaps their inability to come forward towards you or their inability to express themselves has led them to this position. We have the Chariot. Back of the deck is the Lovers with Gemini here, and the Four of Pentacles. They want you to know that, I feel like they think that you are way out of their league, and they want you to know that they recognize that. But they're almost using that as an example as to why the two of you belong together. It's like opposites attract, and we were sort of designed to fit together like salt and pepper. That's what I just heard, like salt and pepper. there is here with this 4 of coins, here is the 5 of coins. Again, the little match girl here sitting out in the cold, holding on to a little light. It's like she's refusing to let go of the hope that they hope still exists here, because they are hoping for a movement in the situation. And it's like they're patient. They're saying, I'm patiently waiting, but they're not patiently waiting, because they're definitely being fueled by impatience here in the recent past. This 4 of coins, though, you can see it looks like a buzzard or a vulture of some kind. And I feel like they're circling. And that's what they want to say. It's like, I'm waiting for you to remove yourself from your situation, or I'm waiting for something to change for you so that I can come in, because nothing is wasted. And they want to, they're very possessive over you. You can even see how the vulture is circling her in this protective type of stance. It's like they're waiting in the queue for something in your position to shift and change. Love message from your person. What do they want to say? We have here, keeping up immense effort and advance. And timing is an issue here. And they're getting frustrated with the timing. It's the anticipation. It's like nothing's changing, and they're getting frustrated with that. And I feel like they are watching you, because they are well aware of your position. And it fuels them. It's a tough watch. It's hard for them to keep tabs on you. We have nonsense. It's time to talk sense. And they sometimes wonder if, again, with the 10 of Swords, should I give up? Is it too late? Sometimes they convince themselves that it is too late and that it's time to close off this cycle. That it's holding them back in this state of fear and jealousy and frustration. Back of the deck says nature, communication, flower energies, fairy energies, and elemental messengers. So there may be, you may find that this person or you and this person might have an internal communication that exists between the two of you. Love message. What do they want to say? We have here outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in my mind. And they want to tell you that it's driving them crazy. The continued reflection is stealing their focus. And it's been both positive and negative. It's like a bittersweetness that's come in. The sword and the rose. The rose is this hopefulness, because they're still holding on to hope. Like I said, I feel like they're circling you. But the sword is the truth of the situation. It's the truth that they feel like they have to hold inside until there's some sort of freedom in your situation, perhaps. What do they want to say to pile number 2, please? What is their love message for pile number 2? The breakup was bad and I'm still healing from it. Your breakup perhaps was a terrible breakup as well with that 5 of Cups, and that could be what's holding them back. Because there is a sense of permanent loss when I see the 5 of Cups. And it's not necessarily a permanent loss in reality, it's just their perception of the situation. I'm afraid you won't like the person I've become. And I just saw there's something so special about you. I don't know how to let this go. And I pretend I don't care, but I really do. I had a huge wake-up call. And I feel like that wake-up call really happened for them when you perhaps moved forward into something more solid. I know I messed up. And I just saw too, are you still angry with me? So they have a lot of regrets about the actions they took with you. And there is a sense too of you feel like it's like you present this air of independence now, because you've proven that you don't need this person. In a perfect world, it is you and it is me. Back of the deck says, have you forgotten all about me? They have this impression that you're sitting pretty confidently in your position right now. What do they want to say? Pile number 2, please. Good message. They want to get off their chest. I keep a close eye on your social media. They are well aware of your situation. This whole twin flame stuff really scares me. And we do have the 4 of Wands too, which is definitely my twin flame energy card. It's amazing how we fear the unknown so much, even in situations like the 4 of Wands, where the unknown projects so much happiness and reasons to celebrate. Even though we're not together, I just cannot see myself letting you go. Don't think because we don't talk, I don't want to, because I do. And I do sense their desire for movement in the future. In some cases, this person may actually reach out and contact you. But I feel like they're almost, it's like a respectful position, because it's like they're thinking of it very logically, their position very logically. And it's more so that they're almost staying at bay because of you. It's not that they're protecting themselves, they're protecting your position. I do pray about us, hoping that God or the universe will open up a beautiful way for the two of you to be together, because that's how destined they feel. That's how connected they feel to you. They feel very drawn to you. I reminisce a lot about the time spent with you on the back of the deck. I'll have a message from pile number 2, please. We have here Moonlight Goddess, repressed emotions, healing and reflection. And they do want to come forward with again, almost an apology. Apology perhaps for what has transpired between the two of you that brought you to this place, because you could have had a very terrible ending to your relationship to begin with. Because they feel like you've leveled up from that point. It's like you've had to be independent from that point. And again, you could be a mother, because I'm even getting the sense with this mother bear type of energy. It's like you had to step up for other people. And they have now had to reflect upon that loss. And it was a painful epiphany that they came to. And now they're circling. It's like they want to let you know what they've learned. Rising above, clarity, freedom, and solution, because they want to bring peace to the situation. And I feel like it's not even just peace to the situation, but even closure to how it ended in the past. Back of the deck says ocean of eternal love, because that's the epiphany that they've had, that they will care for you forever. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 2. What would they say to you in the bowl? They could say anything to you right this moment. What would they say with 0 filters? In the bowl today, we have Knight of Swords reversed, the Justice. We have Libra energy and Taurus energy in the bowl with the Emperor. They would say to you that they wish that they had put their armor down a little bit and been more open and honest and vocal. They wish that they had risked a little bit more. Not even just a little bit more, but a lot more, because they recognize that it was their own lack of effort, perhaps, that thrust the two of you into this situation in the first place. And in some cases, and again, because I'm dealing with collective energy, I do have multiple messages coming into this bowl. In some cases, they're saying that they were really unfair with everything that they said. They're really regretful for some of the actions, or especially some of the things that they said. I don't know if they were deliberately cruel in the past, or they said things that were really terrible in the past. They want to say that they didn't mean it, and they were really unfair, and they know that they were really unfair to you. And so they do want to bring forward that apology as well. We have here the friendship rune of protection. We have the letter F. We have the letter K. And we have a screw here, which is a physical charm for me, like a sexual energy. We also have a letter E in the bowl. We have the wings looking at, or I'm sorry, the wings, the owl looking at things from a higher perspective and gaining wisdom, gaining insight on their actions, on their behaviors in the past. And now we have here the bee, self-sacrifice, wanting to perhaps make amends as well with this bee energy, wanting to serve you, the queen. And it's also a reflection too of a queen bee or somebody who is in charge of a situation, someone who's been very independent. All right, pile 3, or pile 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonated. If it did, I would love to hear your story in the comment section below. I would love for you to subscribe to the channel and hit your notification bell and your like button. It really helps me to bring you more content. If you do subscribe, be sure to drop me a comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. You can also check out my links for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to. But I really hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Hello everyone in pile number 3. You were drawn to the little pink flower. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Or to the Cobra Spirit, and this is your reading. The person on your mind, a no contact love message from them. What do they wish that they could say to you right this moment? We have this Cobra Spirit, which is sort of a dangerous, or it feels like I'm a little bit intimidated by this Cobra energy. It's very watchful. It's on guard as well. It's got its guard up. It's in a protective sort of stance. So this person is someone who could be protecting an ego. In the past, they could have been protecting an ego. They could be protecting their position at this time as well. So let's take a look at your message. No contact love message from the person on your mind. What do they want to say to you? We have the 4 of Wands. They really want to say that they want to find a way towards you. They want to find a way towards you, and they recognize that this connection may go deeper than your typical connection, because sometimes I liken the 4 of Wands to a twin flame type of energy as well. But you do feel sort of beyond their reach at this time. The Queen of Pentacles. And there is a similar energy coming in from this pile that is very similar to pile 2, so you may find a message waiting for you there as well, because they are saying that for some you're unattainable to them because of your position. And you may actually have entered into some type of commitment, of marriage, perhaps with children, because here's the 10 of Cups. And it's like the 10 of Cups here, this particular 10 of Cups says Leviathan underneath, this serpent, this sea serpent that's very sort of out of control and huge. And it's not your typical image of the 10 of Cups, because it's supposed to be emotional abundance. In this case, it's an abundance, all right. But it's again, it feels like it's something you've entered into. So they really want to say that they understand that you have a lot of priorities now. Priorities that didn't exist in the past. There's a jealousy that comes in because of that, though. Here's the 5 of Pentacles, feeling left out in the cold. And this particular 5 of Pentacles, the shaman, you can see that he's trying to warm himself on the fire, but he feels really left out in the cold. And all he can kind of draw upon in this situation is help from source, or is help from above in some type of way. Back of the deck is the Knight of Pentacles here. You may have spent a lot of time in no contact with this person, perhaps. We have the 5 of Swords. And again, this 5 of Swords says the angel on it. And normally the 5 of Swords would be sort of a very self-serving type of energy. This particular energy is ruled by Aquarius. We have But because of the configuration of this imagery here, it's giving me more of a protective nature. Again, it's almost like they're protecting you now. It's not that they're protecting something of their own. It's like they're protecting you. Somebody in this connection needs to walk away from things that are not emotionally fulfilling in order to create change here. There's that Eight of Cups, Pirate. This person wants to say that they sometimes dream about whisking you away from your situation. And they wonder if you're happy. That's the other message coming in. They're like, I want to know if you're happy. Are you satisfied where you are? Are you happy where you are? Because happiness for you means sadness for them. And now that sounds terrible, but it's like if you're satisfied and emotionally happy where you are, if you're so fulfilled where you are that you're so gloriously happy, that steals away all of their hope. It takes away every bit of hope that they have. And they're really kind of hoping that you will be the one, this beautiful Queen of Swords, this Amazon, will be the one that can slay this Leviathan. They really are saying that they really wish that you could, they hope that you're not happy. That sounds so terrible. I'm so sorry to say that. Here's the Two of Swords, the Ghost. They hope that you, and this, they hope, and this is it sounds like a terrible message, and I'm so sorry, but they really hope that you have an inability to actually be completely satisfied in your environment. They don't want you to be completely satisfied there, because that would mean that it's stealing away their opportunity. It's taking away the ray of hope that they have, and they don't, they're hoping. There's a Star, here's the Page of Swords, they're watching you. And look at this Page of Swords, it's the Headless Horseman. So they're not bringing forward all of these messages in a state of clarity. They're just doing it because they've wrapped their emotional happiness up in this connection. Knight of Wands, it's like they want to come rushing in. They dream of being reckless with you. You have the Six of Swords. They have things that they want to get off their chest. And because of the Six of Swords, you know, this is a transition into peace. They are not feeling peaceful about the situation at all. Because they see a path with you as a path towards success, but you also seem out of their reach or beyond their grasp. And so they really want to come forward with this message of like, I'm watching you, I'm keeping tabs on you, I'm hoping beyond hope that you still, that there's going to be a place for us and that you still want an opportunity. It's like, I don't want you to take away that hope. They hope that you are having a hard time letting go. It's like, I pray that you have a hard time letting go, because I'm definitely having a hard time letting go. So I hope you can't commit to your current environment, and I hope that you're not satisfied there, and I hope that you will communicate with me, and I hope that you will end this They really want to put all of the onus on the Divine Feminine here. They really want the Divine Feminine to be the aggressor, to put an end to whatever position you're a part of, if you're the Divine Feminine watching, of course, and to create change in this situation because they don't feel like they can. Back of the deck is the Three of Wands, and then we have the Judgment. Cerberus. Cerberus sitting here at the gates of hell, wanting a new beginning, wanting to go back to the past, wanting to revisit the situation. It's like, I want a fresh start. I want to rise like the phoenix. And they keep thinking about more, more, more. That's what they want to say as well. I keep thinking about more. But I feel blocked from that new beginning. And there's so much fire for you too. There's so much fire for you. This person, I will say, the energy that you, if you're looking at this Cobra with the same type of eyes that I am, there's definitely an intimidation. This person has a bit of a chip on their shoulder right now. And of course, energy is fluid, so they may just be having a bad day. But they are, it could be fueled by suffering too, because they feel so frustrated that you feel beyond their grasp. But they're struggling a little bit. Love message from your person. What do they want to say to you? Keeping up, immense effort and advance. They want you to know that they're getting impatient, and they understand that divine timing is at work here, is at play here, but they're getting frustrated with that. It's like, when will it be my time? We have, I wonder what will happen next. Ready for adventure, precipice of change, pausing before action. And that's what they're doing. They're not going to act towards you. That's what they want to say. They're waiting for you. They're waiting for the next sign from you. And they do hope that they haunt you, because you, well, like I said, you definitely haunt them. They hope that they haunt you as well. Back of the deck says, use your time well, make every moment count, the Cheshire Cat. And there's something very scary about this cat to me, using your time well. And again, it could be a very long period here that they've been waiting. They do feel like they're in a holding pattern. They would like to have a new opportunity with you. Love message from your person. What do they want to say to pile? Please. We have here calling in your soulmate. They want you to know that there's a possessiveness over you, and they're trying to manifest you. They're trying to manifest you. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing or your spiritual path. I often see marriage within the dynamics of this card. So again, I do feel like the divine feminine here could be in a marriage or in a relationship. So take that as it resonates. We do have codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Now, these could be physical addictions that this person is struggling with because of the struggles that they experience here. But I feel like they are addicted to you. I do feel like, and again, they're keeping tabs on you to stay the course. It's like you are sort of their focus. So it's almost an obsession type of energy coming in. And it may be mirrored. The two of you may sort of have this energy mirrored towards one another. What do they wish they could say to you? Love message from pile number 3. I'm sorry if I hurt you in the past. And they definitely have things that they wish that they could express to you that they haven't expressed to you with the Six of Swords. It is wanting to bring in information that they've used to, that has fueled perhaps the separation. You are my happy place. Do you remember me? I'm just going through the motions of life right now. This person, although I'm not getting those cards specifically, they are struggling with this restlessness and with this uncertainty. They could be going through a depression. I love you. I'm thinking about that last day a lot. So the last time that they saw you runs through their mind all of the time. It says there's no going back now. And it feels like they have sort of surrendered to how they feel. It's like there's no going back. I've surrendered to how I feel. This is it for me. This is my soulmate. But I also feel like they're referring to your situation. It's like there's no going back in your situation. And now they're just trying to keep up. Love message for pile 3. What do they wish that they could say with the message cards? I'm open to compromise. And I always see the 2 of Pentacles here. It's like holding space, juggling my responsibilities. So you may find that you're juggling your responsibilities with this connection, and they are definitely, it's like they acknowledge that there has to be change eventually here. And when I see that card too, it's like they would perhaps be, this would be the type of energy, they're so focused on you that they would be willing to, I don't know how I want to say this delicately. They would be willing to sort of step out of a commitment situation with you. Like they would be willing to have a more of a down low situation with you, perhaps. We have, I should have ran after you. 5 of Swords. And we have the 5 of Swords in your reading as well. A lot of regret surrounding that. Letting their ego win in that case. I want you. But now is not the time. And I feel like it's not the time for you either. So I feel like you're sort of breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief, saying that now is not the time. But I feel like they do. I just saw Ace of Pentacles. I do want a fresh start with you as well, because you are so very beautiful. What do you need me for? Now the 9 of Pentacles wanted to come up reversed, which is definitely a jealous type of energy coming in, and envy over you. And they're in a bit of a low place right this moment. We do have the 7 of Swords backup deck. Oops. I ruin everything I touch. So they're in a bit of a self-deprecation right now. And that could be where some of this heavier energy is coming in, where they're, you know, saying, I don't want you to be happy. I want you to be unsatisfied, because if you're unsatisfied, it means that you are feeling drawn towards me like I am towards you, because they're feeling a lot of pressure building up when it comes to you. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 3. What would your person say if they had 0 filters in the bowl right this moment? What would they say? Pile 3, please. 10 of Wands. They have so much they want to get off of their chest. The 10 of Wands is reversed. It's like they want to have freedom from this. It's truly it's a struggle for them. And it would be so much easier to just stall out and quit, but they can't. It'd be easier to just give up, but I can't. And that's what they want to say. It's like, it's too hard. It's like the obstacles between the 2 of us, it's too hard, but I also don't know how to let this go. I don't know how to level up. I don't know how to move forward. And the 6 of Swords here is reversed. You had it in the upright in your spread, but it's because that's the travel issue. If I don't get something off of my chest, it's like I'm going to drown in all of that emotions, and I don't know how to let it go. In the bowl today, we have the letter B twice. We have the letter T. We have a little hospital cap or something here, a little hospital bag, and a strawberry. We have Pisces energy going with the flow, and a little star of Aquarius. We have, oops, you are always in my heart, and a half of a watermelon. We also have the 10 of Swords here, which is a very strong emotional response to pain. It is this end of a cycle. It's like letting go of something that our heart has become really transfixed upon. It's like really wanting to have freedom from the pressure that we're feeling. We have the Sacred Heart of Jesus here. It's like, please give me mercy. This person's struggling today. We also have the commandments from the Bible. I am the Lord thy God is one. And thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain is the other one. So there could be a very strong religious connection here too, because we did have the religious factors card come out for you. It's like vows. I always hear vows when I hear this card or see this card. Okay, pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. If it did, I would love to hear your story in the comment section below, and I would love for you to subscribe to the channel and hit your notification bell and join our beautiful soul family here if you feel called to. You can also check me out on my Instagram account, and that link is below. And you can check me out for a personal reading on my Etsy account, and that link is below if you feel called to. But I hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day.